Hello, rodeo fans. Welcome back to the Short Round Podcast, the official podcast of the Canadian Professional Rodeo Association. It's episode 42, and I am back with my co-host, Clay Creasy. Clay, the 2025 Canadian Professional Rodeo Association regular season has come and gone, and we got a full list of CFR qualifiers. We made it, man.
That last weekend was up and down and all over the map. There's some contestants where keeping track of everything kind of up to date after each round in Armstrong, you could kind of see the rise and fall of some people's seasons
Mhm.
all happening. So it was an awesome stretch there to see. I mean, that Armstrong finals really paved the way for a lot of contestants to punch their tickets to Edmonton.
Well, we kind of beat that horse to death leading into the SMS Tour Finals, just how pivotal of a weekend it was going to be and how some of these races were shaping up. And you really saw how impactful it was for some folks. Like you look at Tanner Mila and Kirby Pintilla, two people who were outside of the top 12 heading into the weekend. They make some big moves in Armstrong, and I guess in Kirby's case, got a little bit of money out of Langley. But yeah, across the board, man, I think it was a cool way to have the season wrap up, the SMS tour wrap up, and we saw some really big moments. But what were a few things that stood out to you over that weekend?
Like you say, Tanner Milan, I mean, makes a huge move there. It was kind of like he was just right on the cusp before Lethbridge. Then some people kind of jumped ahead of him, kind of pushed him down the list a bit. So he was coming in sitting 16th, but
Hmm.
figured out a way. Obviously, been around, made a ton of runs in those kind of situations and just really closed the deal there. uh, Armstrong night. For me in the team roping, I thought that one was quite the race. You
Hmm.
had the Groves brothers that didn't rope together this season, kind of split their chances up. And I mean, poor Brody there did a great job. The finals there ended up second to move himself into a spot, but all of the guys in that race were all up in that final perf in merit, and T McLeod did enough there on the last day to leapfrog again and push Brody out. And I mean, I have no doubt Brody will get there at some point. Great to see Logan getting in there on the heel side
Hmm.
and everything like that. But yeah, that was definitely a race where things were happening.
Yeah, I mean, and you can just see the impact of that final tour, like the SMS Tour final, being able to sweep the board. You look at Brady Whiteside put together two smoking fast runs to win the whole shebang, and I guess her final tally in the season that'd be all got to be a regular season's earnings record now in the breakaway. Hey, I feel like that's a number that's going to keep growing every year, but cool to see the top tell the top three breakaway ropers have over 25,001 heading into the CFR.
No doubt. And I mean, that might be a number that's hard to beat for a while.
Yeah.
I mean, having Pinoca jump on board and everything like that, like we're kind of getting to the point where, I mean, gratefully, a lot of these rodeos have kind of gotten to where they're almost on par with the regular events for the breakaway roping. So, I mean, it is a substantial season in any event, but
Hmm.
especially in the ladies breakaway roping. So, a similar situation that barrel racing. I mean, it come down to the wire, and
Yeah.
Blake Molly, I'd gotten to run into her mom, Wendy, at one of our teaching days, kind of leading up to the weekend, and tying for that last spot and not getting into Armstrong. She was really stuck needing to do something at the other two, and I mean, there's no better way to deal with it than winning both of them. So, uh,
Yeah.
just yeah, her mom said like that new horse and her are just gangbusters right now, and it's going to be quite the matchup. And yeah, you see like Tracy McDonald, similar circumstances to Brody Groves, had pushed her way in with a great showing in the finals
Mhm.
there in Armstrong, but there was a lot of money to be won there in Langley and Merritt, so just again got worked her way down.
Yeah, it was an exciting finish to those events, and I even looking at the bull riding, a young guy Tanner Skeen stepped up to the plate. He was kind of a he was. I don't even think he was in the top 15 heading into the weekend, but he was able to pull out enough money. Kind of, we talked about that with the bull riding all season, how it was kind of a mucky middle from even from first place all the way down to 15th, 20th. If you made some moves that weekend, you could sneak your way in. And Tanner showed up and is going to be riding in his first CFR here in a few weeks.
No doubt. He in 2 weeks out, he was sitting 23rd.
Hmm.
Was the
Hmm.
crazy thing. Like he had 10,000 made, and like you say, that middle was pretty close. Made a couple grand the weekend before, and And like it didn't play out like it could have. I mean, we still had 3 rides in that final, so it's not like he went out and won a ton of ground money
Mm-mm,
either.
mm-mm.
I mean, it's not just, yeah, one of those kind of jumps. I mean, he had to beat Jacob Gardner and Jared Parsonage in that final and did, and yeah, just a great weekend for him, and just awesome to see a young guy that was fighting some injuries this year really piece it together that last weekend.
Yeah, he's riding. He's riding good. He even made a few rides this past weekend on the PBR side of things. And at the other end of the bull riding standings, you had a fun race kind of come to a conclusion between Jake Gardner and Edgar Durazo for that season leader title. I think this is Jake's second year in a row winning the season leader title, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, he's just such a hand, right?
Hmm.
And I mean, you never can cheer against Edgar when it comes down to it either. But yeah, quite a race there, and that placing in Armstrong in the finals definitely helped pave the way. I mean, both of them made some money in Langley and
Hmm.
everything like that. But I mean, it just yeah shakes out that tour finals played out is a big part of it.
Yeah, the bull riding is going to be fun to watch, man. Is there? I think it's one of those things now. We've seen what William Barrows did last year at the CFR, and with how close everything is this year, I wouldn't be surprised if there's anybody who's rolling in Edmonton now that top 12 has a shot. And I will say too, one thing to keep an eye on for the rest of the season. I don't know if it's too early to predict this, but I think I've talked about this before, where I wonder how long it's going to take for an undisputed Canadian bull riding champion to emerge, winning both the CPRA and the PBR Canada. And I feel like Jake's got himself in a pretty good spot to be the first guy to do that. So keep an eye on how Jake does this fall and how he rolls into it. It'd be pretty cool to see an undisputed Canadian champion.
You know what? I think we'd have to get him a big belt like they've got it,
Yeah, big wrestling
back.
belt. Oh
And
man,
I
that'd
know
be
that he'd
awesome.
wear that proud. Like
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you can tell he knows he's a confident bull rider. He knows what it takes to reach that top, and yeah, he's one of those guys that it wouldn't surprise me if he is that first guy to get there, just based on the timing and where
Hmm.
he's at in his career and everything. So no, it would be awesome.
Yeah, it'd be cool to see. And I guess kind of rolling through some of the other events. No surprise, Zeke Thurston ends up as the season leader after another. He dominated the tour finals, made a big ride there on the last day, and just did what Zeke Thurston does, wins.
No doubt. I mean, yeah, he is on. I mean, I think it's like on Zoolander. He's so hot right now,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like, and I mean, you could see it from Calgary on. The momentum has just been on his side. I mean, him jumping into the background, even when other people are winning, he's still in everybody's ears, both figuratively and literally. That video of him jumping in while they were interviewing
Hmm.
Dawson yesterday was hilarious in Puyallup. But no, I mean, just takes every horse and gets everything you can out of him, and that's all a guy can ask for when you're looking to be at the top of your game. And I mean, Nicholas Patterson, I mean, this it's
Hmm.
still a race. I
It's
mean,
not over.
last
It's not over.
into the
Yeah.
CFR, I mean, Zeke kind of pulled away coming into the finals, had another strong finals, and I mean, really had distance the field. But I mean, you talk about a quiet race there. You've got Nicholas Patterson waiting in the wings, and he's figuring things out. I mean, Colby Wanchuk's a go round away from him
Hmm.
too. So I mean, any of these bronc riders are just
It's
so
not
so
over.
incredible.
Yeah, it's not. It's gonna be fun to watch. I think it would be no surprise to anybody if Zeke wins his sixth title in a row. But I mean, there's some guys knocking on the door who are chomping at the bit to get strap that gold buckle on their belt. So it's gonna be a fun race to watch once we do get to Edmonton. All right, Clay. Is there any other storylines from that final weekend that we may not have touched on? Um,
One that I was really and we talked a little bit about it going
mhm.
in, and it came to fruition was Murray Pole in the tie down
Oh
rope. And
yeah, yeah. You did call that one. Nice.
it had been I had had somebody else had mentioned it had been 12 years. He made his last
Wow.
CFR in 2013. And again, Murray is just a student of the sport.
Hmm.
I mean, getting to rope against him when I was younger and just see how hard he works at things and how passionate he is about the event. And I mean, now his kids are coming up and I mean they rope phenomenally and just that ability to just get out there and get to show him, you know what, Dad still got it. And it takes that combination of knowing how to ride your horse, knowing how to handle your rope, and knowing how to handle those situations. And I mean, it wasn't for a good check out of merit, he's not in there. But luckily he is, and I'm pulling for him there to have a big finals.
Yeah, it'll be cool to see. And I think the main learning or the main takeaway we can bring from this final weekend of rodeo action is that every dollar counts, and it was a fun. It kind of just I don't know. Like we've touched on this a bunch of times, but just having that final weekend, the way it's set up now, and the way the new tour finale is set up, it just adds to that drama, and it just makes it so much fun. And another great Canadian pro rodeo season in the books.
No doubt. And, thankfully, it didn't look like anybody came down to winning or losing by even like an accounting error. There's
Yeah,
a
yeah,
little bit of gap there. So when the dollars kind of were counted, nobody's sitting there going, "Hey, wait a second, you rounded that one wrong."
yeah.
That's not to take away from the races that unfolded this season, because I mean, yeah, that steer wrestling. I mean, for Tanner Milan to get in there, you had last year's. I think he was season leader or about near Landon Beardsworth that
Hmm.
got bumped out that last weekend and everything like that. So I mean, for everybody that's celebrating, there's those guys that are just looking towards next year, and
Hmm.
I mean, for some of them, it's okay. You know what? I got myself entered up. I'm gonna take it out on the Northwest run down in the States and
Yeah. Well,
do something.
and thankfully, a lot of folks who maybe didn't make the CFR or still are in those top 12, they don't have to wait to get going again on 2026. We still have a few events left on the schedule between Olds. Is Medicine Lodge on there too?
Yeah,
Or yeah, Medicine Lodge. And then
Medicine
Hannah.
Lodge went already. It is just
Okay.
down to Olds and Hannah that one same
Olds and
weekend.
Hannah. Okay. Yeah. So
Yeah,
there's still a few, and then and obviously the Maple Leaf Circuit Finals that happened in November. So I mean, there is like you don't really have to wait, sit around long. Not much time to mope around if you didn't make it. So yeah, it's gonna be ripping and roaring in 2026 already. But yeah, it was a great finish to the year. Hats off to all the committees who put on a great rodeos this summer, and hats off to all those who qualified for the CFR coming up. I guess we're less than 3 weeks, less than a month away now. So we'll be uh we'll be driving up to Edmonton here sooner than we think, Clay.
yeah, and again, I know when people talked about it moving up, for a lot of people, I know in our area, I don't think harvest is going to overlap too much. I think most guys are going to have things wrapped up by that time
Hmm.
and everything like that. And you're just hoping that it's not a year where you're fighting a snowstorm like it maybe was in the past when the finals were in November.
Yeah,
But
exactly. No, it'll be good.
but
And I guess for those wondering why we're not going deeper into the CFR picture, we still have a show coming up between now and then. So we'll do a full CFR preview and prediction show coming up in a couple weeks. But with that, Clay, let's leave it where it is, and we'll hop to this week's interview and jump back in once that's wrapped up. Alrighty, welcome back to the Short Round Podcast, where this week I am pleased to be welcomed by the 2025 Ladies Barrel Racing season leader, and she also happens to be riding the 2025 Horse of the Most Heart, Jayden Wilson. Thank you for taking the time to chat with me today.
Thank you so much for having me.
So let's get right into it. 2025, a huge year. I mean, you're no stranger to the winner circle, but this will be your first season leader title in your
Yes,
career.
it is.
Yeah. So talk a bit about the season. Like, what was going right? Kind of how did everything fall into place for you to have such a great season?
It, I know, just really, I guess, consistently was pretty good. I'd have to say, like, it's probably the most. Last year was pretty consistently placing.
Hmm.
This year, even more so. Just, I know everything went right, drew
Hmm.
the right days some places.
Did you have like a different feeling coming into this year? I know last year you had another strong season. You had I don't know, can't remember what place you were heading into the CFR, but you won 34,000 on the season in 2024. So you had to have kind of a bit of confidence heading into the this season, and obviously your horse is running good, and all the kind of everything fell into place. But was there a bit of different feeling in 2025?
A little bit. I know, I think last year I really wanted to do well because it was my first CFR.
Okay.
Now I got to go experience Rogers Place, see what it was all about. So then this year was just wanting to get back there.
Yeah, no doubt. I guess once you kind of have a little bit of a taste of it, you want to kind of get back and kind of do some damage, I guess, hey.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So what was that like your first CFR? I didn't really I should have done more research before we jumped on here, so I apologize. But yeah, what was I guess before we get back to 2025, what was it like first time in Edmonton, CFR 50? Whole lot of things happening in one place for your first CFR.
it was pretty cool. It was the first time I've ever even been to Rogers Place.
Cool.
So when you walk in there and it's decorated for CFR and it's like they've got their banners everywhere and I know it was pretty cool. It felt like it's a big like CFR is a big deal, but
Mhm.
you just walk in and it feels like this is big time. This is cool.
Yeah, that was the biggest thing I noticed. Compare like this is no knock towards Red Deer. They did such a great job hosting it, and it was a great venue. And I think just it was the next step for the CFR to move a bigger like kind of into the city, a bigger venue. But yeah, it just had a different feel about it last year. Like it's kind of like being in Vegas. Like the whole city's behind it. You're in a downtown. You're in a big venue. Like it just had kind of all the little things that you kind
Mhm.
of expect in a big finals like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Um, okay, so one thing that I've noticed in the last couple of years is the competition level in the barrel racing has just it seems to be getting stronger and stronger. And you look at all these different events and how many entries they are and and just kind of what it takes to win, especially even like looking at your season this year, $51,952. Like that's nothing to shake a stick at. Over a season. But what's the competition been like? How have you been able to kind of rise above, I guess?
No, it is so tough. I say that all the time. The amount of places I've looked at, I'll compare my time to like previous years and what in previous years would have won like a top five check might
Hmm.
just barely place and win
It's
money this. Like it's just crazy. There's so many really tough girls, really tough horses that could win any given day.
mhm.
So it's kind of fun getting to see how tough and how good the competition is up here.
Why has it gotten so much more popular? Some like why is there so many more good horses and good jockeys and kind of all that coming together? Like it just seems like again, like in the last 5 years, it's popped off like crazy.
I know. I feel like even looking at down south, what they run, like the times they'll run down there, like I think overall, we're just getting even better horses, faster horses. I think the ground a lot of places is just like consistently better
Yeah.
and faster, I think plays into it too.
Yeah, that's been interesting, I guess. Yeah, more you see even the smaller committees are putting such a way bigger of an investment into the ground and making sure it's good for all the events across the board. But
Mhm.
I guess that plays such a huge factor, just having that good ground kind of gives everybody a level playing field to win, hey?
Yeah, it definitely makes a big difference.
So what are some of the highlights over this past year? I mean, like I said, you won a ton of money, but were there some places that you had won before, or some runs that stand out, or looking back on the year, kind of what are some of those things that pop out in your mind?
Um, Probably Bruce is one that really sticks out. I've
How come?
never won a dime there.
Oh, really?
I've always had pretty good runs. I just have never won any money, never done any good. So then this year didn't really have crazy expectations. Went
Mhm.
into it just trying to make a nice run, and we won it. And it was the fastest I've run on a standard pattern at a rodeo. So that was, I don't know, maybe because I wasn't expecting. You don't expect to win any rodeo, but I really wasn't expecting to go win that one.
Right.
And so to go do well there. And then funny enough, 3 days later, he went to High Prairie and ran the exact same time and won
Dang.
that rodeo also. So between those two was probably some of them stand out about the most.
Yeah. So when at what point did the season leader get on your radar? I mean, I think I feel like it's a goal for every contestant, but I mean, it probably gets to a point in the season where it's like, okay, I can actually go for this and make some moves.
Um, I know I'd say all spring we were like pretty consistently kind of picking away
Hmm.
at it. And then where was it? After Pinoca, I think I don't know if I was sitting first then, sitting somewhere high in the standing.
Hmm.
And then it was kind of okay, maybe this is something. So then I went out to Morris and I went to Grimshaw and I went everywhere because it was one of those things that I always was within reach of. So just kind of maybe keep entering everything I could enter.
And see what happens.
Yeah, pretty
Nice.
much.
Well, and then so like, did that add any extra pressure to you on the seas? Like, you're like, okay, now I got to start going all these different places, but were you still able to kind of keep grounded and keep your mind on the like eyes on the prize at the end of the day, or did you find a little bit of added pressure as you were moving through this, trying to chase that season leader title?
Not really. I don't know. I think also it's one of those things that it's not like I set out this spring, like I'm going to win season leader. I
Mhm.
want to win all this. I really just wanted to get back to Edmonton
Fair
and
enough.
then see how the rest plays out. So I don't know, it kind of felt like every weekend I'd go somewhere that I thought, oh, my horse likes this pen. So I'm don't feel as much pressure to run there and just kind of try to just go with it and go one run at a time.
Yeah, I guess that's the only approach you can take with just how, again, you get too far ahead or look too far back. It can end up into a vicious cycle where you're beating yourself up too much. But let's talk about your horse Dynamite. Obviously, you guys had a great season last year getting into the CFR, and then again back-to-back seasons, another great year. And he gets picked as, or she gets picked as, is it she or she, right? It's a mare.
Yeah,
He. Okay,
it
sorry.
said she in the announcement,
Okay,
but
yeah,
it
okay,
is
that's what's
building.
wrong. Okay, perfect. Okay.
Yeah,
Anyways, win horse with the most heart, but just talk a bit about that horse and what makes him great, and how you guys click.
he's, I don't know, I don't even know how to talk about. He's so special. Like he's 8 years old this year. My family raised him,
Hmm.
and my sister actually ran his mom when we were younger.
Oh, cool.
So I got on him when he was 3 and did all the training through then. I started running him when he was 5. And he's always been the horse that just wants to be good.
Yeah.
He pretty much does the same thing every single time. You know exactly what to expect. He'll step up. Like, I don't know, he always seems to just, when you think you've seen the best he can do, then he'll
Hmm.
step up just a little bit more. Um, I don't know what else to say. He's quirky. He has a lot of attitude, but he has a lot of try too. So,
Oh, so at what point did you realize he was going to make a good barrel horse? Like, I'm sure at this point in your career, you kind of have an idea of whether you're going to make it or not. But was there some signs early on, or were you guys just was it just kind of click from the beginning, or what was that like?
I know I didn't expect him to be like this. We raised him hoping that he turns into a nice horse.
Hmm.
All along, he was super easy, like right from the day I started riding him. And the guy that started him, Cody, said, "I really like this horse. He's nice." And we kind of, oh yeah, that's nice to hear. That's good. And then I think that was when he was 4. I went and rode with Lynette Broadway
Nice.
to get some help with him. And she told me, I think you got a really good horse here. And I don't think I kind of, yeah, okay, thanks. That's nice, but didn't really. And then kind of as the spring went when he was 5, he just kind of kept running better. And then we went to a futurity in Claire's home when he was 5, and we were second behind Taylor, Manning, and Bling.
Oh, nice.
And then I was like, okay, maybe I got something here. We might we might make this.
So then there was that kind of the point when you were like, "Okay, I'm gonna start rodeoing," or what kind of spurred you to kind of make that jump?
He I actually his first rodeo was in April as a 5-year-old,
Okay.
and I ran him at Medicine Hat Saturday Night Perf,
Oh,
which is
perfect.
not where most people would
No,
bring
no.
out their young horse that hasn't been many places. But my other mare couldn't go, so I it was take him or turn out. So I kind of just threw him to the wolves. He ran pretty good there. I rode terrible. And I ran him the next weekend at Coleman and Drayton Valley, and he was like a 10th or 2 out of placing,
Hmm.
which I was pretty excited about there. And then I just kind of ran him here and there that year,
Hmm.
tried to not take him too much. I ran him at Strathmore. I ran him at all kinds of places that you wouldn't usually season a young horse at, but
Yeah, yeah, fair enough.
it just kind of handled everything no problem. So yeah, I guess that's kind of how that went. And then when he was 6, I rodeoed just off of him.
Nice. And then that's what would have been last year making the CFR, or is that
Uh,
2023?
2023. Yeah,
Okay, okay, cool.
yeah,
Sweet. So I mean, really like only like a year and a half, 2 years to kind of get you guys' feet under you and start making CFR. That's pretty cool.
yeah. It was pretty exciting. His first year, like he placed at a couple rodeos,
Hmm.
and then his second year, he won Falkland that spring. So then it was really like, oh, that was the first pro rodeo I'd ever won.
Nice,
So that
nice.
was really exciting. So then we just kind of kept building each year off of that. I feel like I every year I kind of know more of what places he likes, what setups
Mhm.
he likes, and me figuring out how to ride him these different places.
So, but I mean, I guess in that saying that, like for winning the season leader title, you got to have them dialed in everywhere you go and be winning to win all that money, you know? Like, so is how have you like kind of found that kind of recipe or whatever to keep them kind of sharp wherever you go?
I know I really do have to say a lot of it's him. He's
He just
like
takes it
because we
with just
run from little tiny like
right.
we ran at Hannah, I think we ran 12 seconds, and then we run at Pinoca where there's no fence anywhere near a barrel.
Hmm, hmm.
So I know a lot. He's just so honest.
Yeah.
I can kind of, especially this year, I really found he's always felt good, and then this year he just felt that much more locked on, I guess.
Hmm.
And you just kind of send him in hard. I could trust he'll turn a first barrel anywhere. So I
I
guess
guess
that's kind of
one
the
of those
difference
things.
this year.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those things where you guys kind of like grow up together in a sense, right? Like you kind of started your careers together and moved through it. So
Hmm.
I'm sure he trusts you as much as you trust him.
Yeah, it does. I do think it helps. Like I know him so well at this point.
Hmm.
It definitely helps.
So what was it like getting that call that he won horse with the most heart? I know that's a huge because it's voted on by your peers too, right? So like
Yeah,
having them select your horse is one that you've had since he was a little baby, be that top horse. What was going through your mind, or what was the feeling like when you got that phone call?
it was. I don't know. I didn't expect it at all. It came up on my phone that Tanner Gerlitz was calling me. I'm like, oh no, what's wrong?
I got
What
some kind of
happened?
fine or something.
Yeah,
That's bad.
that's what I was thinking. He said that I'm just calling to tell you that Whiskey was voted Horse of the Year. Uh, I know it's a pretty surreal, it was a pretty cool moment.
Yeah, no doubt. That's a huge honor, and I probably just like almost a cherry on top, or the kind of the best reward for all the work that you and your family put into him over the years too. Hey.
It is like, I know, I feel like he deserves so much credit. So then for him to get it, it's pretty cool for, like, of course, I like him. He's mine. So of
Yeah, you
course
can't
I
not.
love
That's why.
him.
Yeah,
But
fair
then
enough.
for other people to also vote for him and think enough of him to for him to be their pick is that's pretty cool.
Yeah, like we talked about earlier, kind of the with the amount of great horses and great riders, and kind of how competitive it's got in this part of the world. It's kind of quite the feather in your cap to have that kind of heading into the CFR. Hey.
Yeah. Yeah, there's so much. I know I was going through trying to pick my vote. I'm like, I don't even know who to pick because I go through the list and any one of these could win it and I would agree with it.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Um, so so kind of what's the strategy heading into CFR this year? I know it's kind of maybe a bit of added pressure heading in as the number one gun, but are your sights set on the Canadian title, or are you gonna kind of just go in there and let it roll and see what happens, or what's kind of the feeling heading into Edmonton here in a few weeks? It's coming close.
It is. It's coming up really fast on us.
Yeah,
I don't know, just kind of try not to have too much pressure. I think just take it one run, try to be clean and smooth and let things happen however they happen in the end.
fair enough. Is it a bit of a more of like a settling feeling going into there, like kind of knowing what the drill is now? You've been it's one other there's a full year between the CFRs, and it's not the first time. And I mean, I think everything all around is gonna be more dialed in from the production to the
Mhm.
everything. But what's because I kind of put you at ease a little bit more heading into there, even like where the you know where they're gonna keep your horse for the week
Yeah,
that you're there, right? Like
that was like last year until we got there. I had no idea. Nobody knew what the setup was. I called all kind of people. No one really knew
right.
what it was going to be like. What we didn't know what our alleyway was going to look like
Hmm.
until the day it started, pretty much. So get at least going in this year, I feel a lot more prepared, a
Yeah.
lot more ready. Kind of know the drill a little bit.
Right on. Well, do you have any like any goals like set for the finals, or you like again, are you kind of just gonna go in there and let it roll, or what's kind of
Kind of.
in a perfect world, what would be kind of the obviously the best outcome would be Canadian champion, but what are kind of some goals you have set for yourself that week?
I know. I feel like my whole year has honestly just been kind of pick away and
See what
try
happens.
to like, so I guess that's kind of how I'd like to go into the CFR is
Yeah.
if we can keep picking away, keep clean, then I'd be happy.
Oh,
At
yeah.
least sets us up for a chance. So
That's the way to do it. You go in, that's I think that's the biggest thing is going in there, putting in five solid four, I guess four, is it 5 rounds or four? Five
yes,
rounds. Yeah,
five.
5 rounds.
Yeah.
Five solid runs. That's gonna put you in a good chance to win, especially going in with a bit of a lead.
Yeah, that's my plan. At least we'll just go try to be smooth, stay clean, and see what happens.
See what the heck happens. Fair enough. Do you have any traveling partners, anybody you roll with throughout the season, or are you kind of a lone wolf?
I my sister,
Oh,
my
yeah, I
parents
guess.
come along with us a lot. That's I don't usually haul with other people that much. It's usually our trailer's full just with us. So
Yeah, fair enough.
yeah, that's mostly. I went with some girls out to Morris, and I think that was the only time this year that I went
Yeah.
with
I guess
anybody else.
I guess it's quite uncommon for the barrel racing crew to travel together. I haven't really ever talked to many who like, and I guess it makes sense though, because you kind of have your own way of doing things and your own horse kind of likes what they like. It makes sense to kind of
Yeah,
roll and do your
that's the
own
hard, especially when I don't go with other people that
thing.
often. I've like got my routine. I know where everything is
Yeah.
in my trailer. It's just kind of nice to have your own space, do your own thing.
Yeah, no doubt. Let's talk about your family. Obviously, that's the biggest thing that I like to talk about with folks on this show is just how it takes a village to be successful in this game. It's not it may be an individual in the arena or maybe a team, you and your horse in the arena when you're competing, but behind the scenes, there's so much that goes into creating or having a great rodeo career. So let's talk a bit about your family and how much they mean to you and how pivotal they've been in this process.
They, no, I wouldn't be where I am without them. They, I know they do so much, like helping us drive places, and if they're not driving, helping make sure that everything at home is good so we can go. And I know they're so supportive. Like my parents are great. My sister, she's entered everywhere. If she's not entered, she lets me steal her horse to take her to back up with me. Like it's, I know it's pretty. I feel like that's the cool thing with rodeo is it can be
Mhm.
so family involved. So it's, I know it's cool getting to experience it all with your family.
Yeah, no, it's a huge, it's having that, being able to share those moments and that time with your family. It doesn't really happen in most pro sports or really
Mhm.
at all. So they're definitely very fortunate for that. The Tuesday night at the CFR is the night of champions where you'll get your back number and your jacket and your season leader saddle and all that kind of stuff. So how special of a moment that is that going to be to share with your family? Kind of a culmination of all the hard work everybody's put in to get you that point.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'd say. It's like everything I've done has led up to that. So I know it's pretty cool.
Do you have a speech ready?
No, not at all, actually. Haven't even thought about that.
Oh dang, I
I
don't mean
probably should.
yeah, I don't
Winging
mean to put
it's
the
not.
pressure. Yeah, I don't mean to put the pressure on you, but
Yeah, I'll have to think. Not usually a very good at winging it for a speech. So
yeah, it's easier said than done. You think you can get it done, but then you get in front of all those people, and it's a little bit more nerve-wracking than a person
yeah,
thinks.
exactly.
Right on. I was trying to think what else I got for you. Mm, 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 mm. I'm pulling off of some stuff that Cass asked you too from last year on the lipstick and cowboy boot stuff. So, um, oh yeah, okay. I like this question about the kind of the next. I know with like rodeo and barrel racing and all this kind of stuff. There, you guys are always working on training new horses and kind of having the next one in line. Do you have any other horses you're working on these days, or you kind of just rolling with what you got?
I have a 3-year old. I just bought him a year ago, actually,
Mhm.
right before CFR. So I've been going with him, getting him going. And then I don't really have a lot on the go. I had one that unfortunately got hurt and is done competing.
Oh, okay.
And then we have a 2-year old coming up. So couple,
How do you balance the time between like focusing on the rodeo side, but also kind of bringing up your next horse or futurity? I know that's a big thing in barrel racing
yeah,
too, but yeah,
it's kind of why I don't have a lot of them,
right, fair enough.
especially with working full time. Like it's hard to get through more than a few in a day.
Hmm.
So I know I try to keep it right now. I've got two that I'm riding consistently. Two or three is kind of that's kind of the nice point. So
Yeah, fair enough. Fair
try to
enough.
keep a young one, hopefully futurity him, and then hopefully he'll make a rodeo horse and
Keep on rolling. But I guess,
yeah,
but I guess, your horse now, he's only 8, so he's got a lot of runway left in his career too, hey?
hope so. Yeah,
Fingers crossed,
hoping
fingers
so. Yeah,
crossed, fingers crossed.
exactly.
Let's talk mentors. I know that's a big thing. You already touched on Lynette Broadway, and obviously your family's had such a huge influence on you. But who are some of those people that kind of helped you along throughout your career to kind of get you to this point?
A lot of people. Twyla Brune is from around Strathmore. My mom grew up just down the road from her. She's barrel raced for years. She was probably one of the first people outside of like my mom teaching us to barrel race that
Mhm.
really like taught me what to do, and she's just a great person. She's helped me so much. I can still call her and she'll tell me what to do.
I
Give
guess
me advice.
I guess with like the Cowboy Channel and stuff now, it's so easy for folks like that to keep kind of tabs on what you're doing and watch your
Yes.
runs, and she
Yeah.
could probably be texting you as it's happening, hey?
Oh yeah. I saw her yesterday and she was telling me how she's adding up the standings before they even have them on the website. And yeah. Who else? Jody Jameson. We actually bought a horse from her. My
Okay.
mom bought a horse from her and then ended up buying another young one from her. And I went and rode with her a bit. Jody's amazing. She knows so much about absolutely everything. So I could call her about anything and I would get a novel with diagrams of what to do. And she was awesome. And then Lynette has been a huge help. I go to her. I'm actually going to her again with my young one to see what she thinks, get her
Nice.
advice.
Well, yeah, and talk a bit about more Lynette because she's obviously still competing. She'll be at the CFR this year. She's kind of been in your shoes in the sense of she's won a season leader title, which eventually she's led into it. She's won a Canadian title in the last few years. But how how important is it for you to have someone like her that's kind of still in the thick of it,
Mm-hmm.
kind of doing the same kind of stuff you're doing?
I know she's such a good competitor,
Yeah,
really.
yeah,
Like,
she's got that good attitude. I love talking
yeah,
to her about stuff. She's great.
yeah. I know she's a very good person to learn from. I feel like just she's always got a solution. She's always got an answer. I know I feel like there's so much to learn from her and anyone that's like competed for as long as she had and been at the top
Yeah.
like her. There's just so much to learn from them.
And she just the way she carries herself is so nice. She's like always calm, cool, and collected, but you
Yeah,
can tell she has that like winner mentality, but just is like she
yeah,
has a good aura about her, which is fun to be around.
she does. Yeah.
What was it like qualifying for the CFR last year and be able to compete alongside of her? Was it like did she give you any advice heading into that weekend, or did you like ask her like what to expect, or was it kind of just business as usual for you two?
Kind of business as usual. I don't know. I didn't I probably should have gone to her more than I did last year. But I know it's one of those things like I didn't want to go change anything during the finals.
Mhm.
And so I kind of just tried to go business as usual and then but I don't know, even just having people like that to go like watch and know what they do and know
Mhm.
that if you do need something or to know something that to know who to go to.
Yeah, fair enough. It's just nice having those types of people to lean on, like you say, like people who've been there, done that, and been at the top.
Mhm.
Like having those folks in your corner is such a huge, especially for someone like you too. You're so young in your career that like having those resources just is only going to help you achieve more and more as you move through.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's really cool. Okay, last one for you before I let you go. Get back to whatever you're up to. Um, what is maybe a goal you have set out for the CFR this year, or something that you like, something you really want to, I mean, we can talk about the Canadian title as long as you want, but maybe there's just any goals or anything you kind of want to happen as you head into to CFR 51 in a few weeks here.
It's kind of what I said before. I really my only goal is to go be consistent. Hopefully, I didn't win a lot of money out of CFR last year, so hopefully
Yeah.
win a little bit more money. Um, I'm not trying not to really overthink it, I guess.
Mhm.
Just go, don't really change our plan from the rest of the year and see what happens.
keep on keeping on and see what happens. I like that. That's the way to go. I mean, that's at the end of the day, if you go into something like that and you start changing things or changing routines, it's gonna probably have do more harm than good. So I like that
Yeah,
approach.
exactly. That's what I figure.
Right
We'll
on.
let you know how it goes after,
Hey,
but
we'll be there. We'll be there. We'll be watching, and I know a lot of people will be watching on the Cowboy channel, keeping tabs on how you do. But
yeah.
we're wishing you nothing but the best up there. We'll see you in the arena in a few weeks, and it's going to be awesome to watch you. And congrats again on a great season.
Thank you so much.
Alrighty, thanks, Jayden. Thanks for the time. And we'll be back with the short round right after this. Alrighty, Clay, we're back. Second half of the show, or third half, I guess, or our third of the show, depending on how you break it down, math wise. But one person we forgot to mention on that top part was Kirby Patilla, and we kind of brushed over it. But she had herself a huge weekend. She swept the board in Armstrong, picking up 9,500 bucks, and then a small check out of Langley pushed her near that $10,000 range for that final weekend that got her CFR berth. I think it's the first CFR berth for her, right?
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, she was somebody that I know last year come up a little bit in some of our
Hmm.
shows. Had some really big weekends last year, but definitely put it together this year. And I mean that barrel racing, it almost took that 30 to make it. I mean, it wasn't very far
Yeah.
off to get there. And so it was that barrel racing is just so tough and she had a tremendous season to put it all together.
Yeah, it's exciting. Like I said, the kind of those Cinderella stories getting in there and then kind of unfortunately pushes people out. But yeah, congratulations to Kirby, and we'll see her in a few weeks up in Edmonton. Okay, so not only it's not only crunch time, or not only what it was not only crunch time on our side of the border, but also down in the U.S. They're pushing the last few weeks of the PRCA regular season are going on right now. We have some guys battling their way into that top 15. We have some guys who are kind of trying to push towards that world title. But yeah, it's been an exciting weekend. I know this past weekend in Puyallup, we had an all Canadian showdown round with a couple guys in Logan Hay and Ben Anderson trying to push to crack into that top 15.
Yeah, and like the Canadian aspect always plays such a big role in that event. You've got Nansen brings a majority of the bulls that they buck in Puyallup, and Calgary's got a ton of the horses, and
Hmm.
and it was so cool to see that final four round of four Canadians with Zeke, Dawson, Logan, and
Yeah.
Ben, and on four Calgary horses. I mean, it's just like taking the final four round in Calgary and shipping it down to
Yeah.
Puyallup for that big tour finals. And it's not that it's obviously a larger paying rodeo than Calgary, but it's just at that point in the season where everything counts and everything
Hmm.
matters. I mean, Dawson just made a phenomenal ride there. That Freedom Express is not easy. That's a
Hmm.
big load of horse, and he made a tremendous ride. All of them did, and just great to see down there. And
What
and
a huge like not only the win for those guys, but those four guys who made it to the showdown round, they qualify automatically for the tour finale or the cinch playoffs in Sioux Falls at the end of the year, which has a ton of money added in it where you can win. And plus, if you layer in the Rough Rider Cup and Mandan, like those guys who are kind of on the fringe or kind of on the bubble right now, they can do some damage here in the next couple weeks.
No doubt, and especially in that group, as you mentioned earlier, with Logan and Ben, they're both just right on the edge of things. Colby Wanchuk's in there right now, and those two guys are kind of on the outside. But yeah,
Hmm.
with those big money events in their back pocket, it gives them that chance to push through. And I mean, again, that bronc riding list 1 through 15, it's hard to see who they're going to beat to get in there.
Yeah, yeah, it's tough, man.
There's not a soft spot in there. Not that there isn't any event, but it's a tough battle. And on the other end of it, you've got the Graham brothers in the team roping that have been they've been in the mix in everything.
Hmm.
And I mean, had a big win in Walla Walla here the weekend before this. We're in the final four yesterday and just didn't quite piece it together. I mean, they're making as many short rounds and everything as they can. They're making the miles. They're roping those steers. I mean,
Yeah,
Dylan on the heels has been outstanding
yeah, been money.
in August and into September here. I mean, they've pushed their way into that contention and just got to keep on going here. And similarly, will have that spot in Sioux Falls now with making that Final Four. So we're hoping to see them get through there and break that ice this
Oh,
year too.
it's gonna be wild. And another guy who's in a dogfight on the bubble is Kyle Lucas, man. I'm looking at it right now, and he's currently 4,300, less than 4 grand ahead of Quade Hyatt for that last spot in the top 15. So gonna have to make some moves. And I saw a stat earlier this week or earlier last week where Kyle is leading the way in percentage of calves caught and roped. He's roping about 86% roping and tying. So those percentages got to play out at some point where it's going to help him out and kind of get him a few more bucks to kind of pad that lead. But it'll be interesting to see how it goes for Kyle the rest of the year too.
Yeah, and like he had such just a gangbusters winter.
Hmm.
Came out of the winter was good, was strong through the spring and summer, but he's like percentage wise catching lots. We're just not seeing him really break through here with
Hmm.
some big wins like you're seeing the Graham brothers doing this last little bit. And I mean, he finished the year strong up here, and hopefully things start clicking. I mean, he's a guy that it'd be great to see him have like a big Pendleton,
Yeah,
right?
100%.
He roped so well, and for him to get the right setup there and knock things out there to just really, yeah, because he's just been kind of slowly creeping down there. Guys have been making moves, and you hate to see it go the wrong way by the end of her. So I'm hoping for good things here this month.
Yeah, it's gonna be a thrilling finish to the year, man. Like you said, there's Pendleton left, there's the cinch playoffs, there's the Rough Rider Cup. There's a ton of money to be won still, so it's not over until it's over. So we're wishing nothing but the best to our Canadian contestants south of the line. Um, one thing I guess what happened, like, one thing to touch on too, what happened down there, Stetson Wright got himself in a little bit of a jam. Cloudy skies at the Calgary Stampede. That horse is not easy either. Talking about tough Calgary Stampede horses, but kind of just stepped on him in a funky way and busted a few ribs. But it's wild to think that he said he's going to be back for the cinch playoffs in 6 weeks. It's like, man, you got $100,000 lead in the all around and the bull ride, and like just take it easy and coast into the NFR.
Yeah, well, and I mean, yeah, that one's in 2 or 3 weeks, right? 6 weeks
Yeah.
puts into middle October or whatever. And I mean, that one you could see, yeah, a guy just say rest up for C or for NFR, but no, that Cloudy Skies is one that very few guys really get along with. That horse,
Hmm.
and it's deceptive. There's not like the big moves or anything like that. It's just hard to get the timing with, and yeah, it was just that was a bad go. I mean, you never want to see that for anybody. And I mean, I saw Kendra Santos tried or mentioned comparing it to the injury that Lane Frost
Hmm.
unfortunately succumbed to. I mean, one of those things where having that protective vest can be the difference maker there.
100%. Yeah.
And all the guys that jumped in to make sure that, I mean, obviously still got a horse that's bucking around in the arena, and your pickup men are doing a great job, but everybody that's coming out there to make sure that he's going to get taken care of. And I mean, Ryder Wright had to ride right after it, wins around, jumps in the ambulance and goes to the hospital with him. I mean, that family is not just talented, but really they care about each other
Close it
too. So
gets. Yeah, for sure. And I mean, knowing Stetson, he'll be back better than ever. That guy's a multi time world champion for a reason. So wishing him a speedy recovery, and we're looking forward to seeing him back in the arena. All right, Clay. Before we wrap things up here, I just want to give a little shout out to the three-time Canadian Entertainer of the Year, Ricky Tiki Wanchuk, who announced his retirement. It was at the LRA finals, right? Yeah,
yes.
at the LRA finals, announced his retirement, and it's gonna be not he doesn't work very many rodeos any like at this point, but the ones that he did, he was a staple at, and I know he brought a lot of joy to a lot of folks, and he's just one of the good guys in the industry. So we're just congratulations on a great career, Rick, and we'll definitely be missing him in the arena.
49 years they said that he had been doing this, and I mean, I can remember throughout my childhood and rodeo career just getting to see him, and I mean, you see the quality of kids that Colby and Kyle have grown up to become, and
Hmm.
just yeah, you can't do nothing but cheer for that family and congratulate somebody who is just a rodeo lifer.
Yeah,
I mean,
rodeo exactly.
given himself and so many injuries coming out of that. I mean,
Yeah.
that spinning around and rolling that rig and everything like that over the years, but it's all about the entertainment. It's all about the rodeo. I still remember a rodeo one time where some stuff went awry and it was super muddy, and they had an announcer that almost left, and I mean, they go to do the barrel racing and there's nobody to drive the tractor. So the next thing you know, Ricky's jumped in the tractor and he's in the arena. I mean, he went to make a joke with the announcer about what happened before, and the announcer had to give him a Ricky, not now. I mean, the things and everything that Ricky has been a part of and seen over the years, it's just you could write a book for sure,
Oh,
at least
yeah.
three probably, but
Yeah, it's pretty freaking awesome, man. And yeah, like I said, we're lucky to have him as long as we did in the arena, and I'm sure he's gonna enjoy some downtime chasing the boys around as they continue on their successful careers.
absolutely. And they're not too far from that brand new facility in Sherwood Park. I'm sure he'll be in there helping people and watching there, so it'll be great to he's not going to disappear from the sport entirely, that's for sure.
Yeah, 100%. Alrighty, Clay, let's I think that's gonna do it for now. Like I said, we'll be back in a couple weeks with a full CFR breakdown and preview as we head into CFR 51 up in Edmonton. And other than that, good luck to our Canadian contingent making the push for that Wrangler NFR down south, and we'll be back with y'all very soon.